You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and we are back for a new episode of Game of Thrones. And as always, I am joined by my co-host for the series, Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
Hello, it's great to be back talking some Game of Thrones after that long break. The break was so long, I lost all my hair. I was like,
I
got a
know.
haircut in between episodes, had some spring cleaning. Very excited to get back into some Game of Thrones, however, because the first episode, especially the way that it ended, this long wait between episodes really had me puzzled to see where we go next.
Oh, you kind of pulled a little Cersei Lannister there. I feel like your hair is
Yeah,
about the same length as what she's rocking these days in the show.
yeah. I walked in the salon. I was like, "Give me the Cersei Lannister, please."
Make it a little more even.
Right.
Just even out the edges. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Not the longest break we've taken. Here we are. We're back. We also got our second teaser trailer for House of the Dragon since we last
Yeah.
recorded. So the
Very
Targaryens,
interesting.
they are coming back. Except we're actually going back to them, I guess. We're traveling
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, they're not coming back. We're going back to them. Yeah.
Did you react to the second one?
No, I was asleep.
Yeah, I was like, I did. I did not
I
either.
was
So
expecting a trailer at some point, but like it was just that part of the week I was just exhausted.
how'd you
Great
feel about
break
the
for.
trailer though? Since we didn't do
Uh,
reactions.
I thought it was good. I don't really know that much, obviously, because I know that they're all, we kind of have an idea of where they're going to inevitably lead with the show. But for the journey itself, it was pretty interesting, seeing all of these other Targaryens and other people along the way. We got some dragons, which is what I was excited for, because that was what I felt when I reacted to the first trailer. Like, well, there's no dragons in this. I was told there's going to be a lot of dragons in this show. It's like the Targaryen Civil War, loads and loads of dragons. I think they said like 15 dragons,
Yeah,
and I didn't get a single one in that first trailer. I was
we
very
got
underwhelmed by that.
fire. We got fire.
Yeah, yeah. Thankfully, with this one, we got dragons. I guess two dragons and fire. So that was great.
And an egg or two. We saw
Yeah.
we saw your boy Matt Smith. He was trying to I think steal an egg, but we'll see. I think that's what he was doing. But
I mean, of the cast, he's the one I was most excited for because I've been such a big fan of Doctor Who, and then of course his other stuff in his career hasn't been as great. Morbius,
I mean, at
Terminator.
least he is the breakout star of Morbius with that scene. Listen, the highlight scene of the whole movie comes from Matt Smith, so at least we have that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they promoted Moms from Morbius with his scene, and he's not Morbius. So
Oh, but all right. So, been a little bit for a little refresher on episode one. We'll jump in with the Targaryen of this show, Daenerys. We see she's been taken hostage by a Dothraki horde. They just think she is some random woman. And if we remember back to season one, the Dothraki are not known for, women's rights. Certainly not known
kindness.
to treat women or random people that they capture well at all. So lots of talk of raping her, passing her around, beating her, until she says, "I was the wife of Khal Drogo." So they back off. But then they're like, "Oh, girl, we're not sending you back to Meereen. We're taking you to the Dosh Khaleen, where you're supposed to go as a widow of a Khal." So, yeah, looks like Daenerys would be hanging out with all the widows.
Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting kind of like romantic comedy kind of thing. All these widows together, I guess forcibly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jorah and Dario, trading their little jabs, roasting each other a little bit as they are on the mission to find her. And Jorah does find her ring, sees the kind of like marks, the hoof ring that enormous call left behind, and thinks he has at least a little bit of an idea of what might have happened with Daenerys.
I would imagine just because of how big that army was, they shouldn't be like that hard to follow. It's just like you
Gotta,
wouldn't want to follow them.
yeah, they got to move pretty slow with that many people. A lot of them on foot. Like Daenerys was one of them, and they weren't moving that fast. So Back in Marine, we see Tyrion taking the lay of the land with Varys. They're kind of sussing things out. We see that the city is quite divided over Daenerys, even currently, and she still has her holdouts, the former slaves who are still championing her, trying to get people hyped. But yeah, looks looks about as rough as ever in Marine. It's never really a pleasant, peaceful place.
Yeah, they still have those murderers running around in the
Lord.
secrets, in the shadows.
Well, then we go back to Dorne, where Ilaria says, "You know what, Prince Doran, we're done with your ass," and she just offs him. And the other two sand snakes on the boat kill his son. So it looks like the royalty of Dorne has been taken down, and Ilaria and the sand snakes have staged a mutiny in Dorne.
Quite an interesting coup, I will say.
Then we see Cersei very happy for just a fleeting moment as she runs down to the water and sees Jaime standing in front of a casket.
Yeah, that's a mood killer, I would say.
So she learns what they've done, and Jaime, vows that they won't let the people who have hurt them get away with it. So we'll see what happens there. And Theon and Sansa were tracked down by Ramsay's soldiers. But right in the nick of time, our girl Brienne shows up and saves the day.
That was amazing.
Her pod and a little assist from Theon kill them off. And this time, Sansa accepts her oath for protection.
Thankfully. I don't know what she would have done if she didn't accept at this point.
Don't know where they're going, but at least now she has Brienne with her.
Can't be that.
And then up at the wall, Davos, Ed, even Melisandre are all kind of in shambles as they find Jon Snow's body just left out to, I don't know, freeze.
Yeah.
Over so it doesn't rot, I guess. I'm not
It
sure.
It was just motionless, cold, white, pasty, just laying there.
So they send Ed out to go and try to round up Tormund and the rest of the wildlings because they're like, oh shit, like we are surrounded by the Night's Watch as loyalists to Jon Snow.
Not a great place to be right now. Yeah.
So Ed is on the run. Davos and them are all like literally locked up in a room while Sir Alistair is like getting the people hyped for his cause. And they gave him a warning. They said, come on out, Davos, and you'll be fine, or we're gonna have to go in there and kill you. So
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
That's how it feels like to me, anyway.
Meanwhile, Marjorie, she's still stuck in the prison.
Yeah, still.
She's kind of mulling over the High Sparrows, trying to get her to confess, still working on her. And then we saw Arya, little blind Arya, in the streets begging for money, and the waif just came and beat the hell out of her. So.
Rude, just beating up a blind girl on the side of the road.
Then we got one of the weirdest reveals, which I think we're used to from Melisandre. If there's somebody who knows how to make a crazy moment happen, it is Melisandre. She takes off her glowing red necklace in the night and reveals that she is actually very, very, very old.
Ridiculously old. Ancient, even.
Like she's nearly dust. If you blow on Melisandre a little too hard, she may just evaporate before your eyes.
Yeah. I definitely think she qualifies for, was it AARP, all them?
Yeah. Olenna, High Sparrow, move to the side. We have a new eldest person in the show. Her name is Melisandre.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. She's definitely got to be the oldest person in the whole show now.
Oof. That Lord of the Light, every time we doubt him, because she obviously was very wrong about Stannis. But then, I mean, he shows that he has some kind of power. I mean, he's keeping Homegirl looking like fresh and clean. This is the best skincare routine you could have in the Seven Kingdoms, is the Lord of the Light. So
that magic's it works pretty well.
So that is where we left off with Melisandre revealing her true self. So let's go ahead and get into this episode, which is called Home.
Oh, we're back. For the House of the Dragon trailer. I do wonder what the theme will sound like.
Oh no. Well, it's
Do you think
interesting
they'll
because they
go
use
very Targaryen heavy?
yeah, they used one
trailer?
of Daenerys's like themes of this show. Arya just roaming the streets over here in Bravos.
Yeah, I think I see a little person getting beaten up on the steps over there. A Raven.
We're about to see a character we haven't seen in almost 2 seasons.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it looks like that same place we saw. Was it Bran and was it Hodor? I
Oh,
think.
there he is. There's the
Oh,
old
that's Max von Sydow.
the three-eyed raven.
Was he? That was not him before, though, right? Oh, there's Bran. I mean, he's looking great.
That is the kid from Heartstopper.
No way.
That's the bully. Ben, I cannot. Okay.
I noticed that Bran also has had quite a bit of a growth spurt. He looks much older now. I was gonna say he's speaking other words besides Hodor. I guess that's something he used to do.
Now learn Hodor's real name.
Yeah. Oh. What the heck?
A jump scare.
Just casually, like, hey, this person's over here. You think that's a comfortable place to rest in, Larry?
I think you got a few little pricks in places you don't want them from that damn tree, but you know. Oh? He said, I don't know that name.
I love Hodor. Even though he only says Hodor.
Oh, hey, Mira.
It's so interesting seeing all these characters like so much older now after so many seasons.
After we didn't see them for a full season, they come back looking much bigger.
Yeah, poor Hodor. Hodor's still got to pick him up. He's gotten, after puberty and everything.
Alistair, step away from Sir Davos.
Poor Jon Snow just gets to lay there dead. Another episode.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do that.
Yeah, as they are pointing weapons right outside the door. All right, let's get this going.
A lot of men out there, Davos.
They brought out the hammer. Well, he's gonna be the first one that gets killed once he breaks open that door. Ghost is ready too.
Ready. Oh.
Look at that thing.
1-1.
1-1. And the wildlings.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well,
I guess I'm rooting for them in this instance.
They said, wait a minute. We just saw that man and what he did. Oh. Really, sir?
Come on. Oh, you made a mistake.
You deserved it. You deserved it.
Ooh! Ragdolled him. Well, I think after that should finish the fight.
Yeah,
like, all right.
Lay it down, lay it down.
They're like, F this.
You too, Ollie.
Yeah, take him out, though. That's
Little
fine.
Punk ass.
You fucking traitor.
The only traitors here are the ones
Yeah.
who shoved their knives into their
Yes.
commander's heart.
Kind of hypocritical there.
Oh,
He's still trying. Beat up
I
that
didn't
kid.
go how you thought, Alistair.
Well, they had a giant, so they win. It's still sad to see Jon Snow died.
Oh, it's that man who flashed.
Of course it is. Oh, the mountain. You're not. That's not good.
Hi.
Oh. Okay. Just straight up, just whacked his head against the wall once and kept it moving. He's looking real good, you know, blue. Even he's scared.
The king's orders are barring me from attending my own daughter's funeral.
Forgive me, Your Grace, by the
Oh.
king's command, I cannot let you pass.
Well, that's kind of rude.
Guess I'm kind of with Cersei on this one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the mountain could take him.
Is this really what y'all want to do? I think Cersei just saved y'all's lives. I'll count that as...
as they breathe sighs of relief. They don't have to fight the mountain.
Oh.
Well, there's Tommen after like the longest time.
Expect it was mother.
Your mother wouldn't do
We're wrong on that one.
She would.
Well, you are dumb, so so I mean, I'm not surprised that he would expect something stupid like that.
Then why didn't you let her come? She has every
Huh?
right to be here. Why haven't you gone to see her?
Yeah, why haven't you done anything, Tommen?
King is supposed to be the protector of the realm. If I can't even protect my own wife or my own mother, what good am I?
Well, maybe he's not as dumb as I thought.
Forgive you.
In a little bit right now.
Your Grace.
Oh.
It looked like he just woke up.
What atonement do I deserve?
You would spill blood in this holy place.
Well, the gods won't mind. More blood than the rest of us combined.
Go on.
Well, I mean, he almost had the upper hand, I guess.
He trying to act all innocent knowing he got a whole gang surrounding.
It was a test.
We can overthrow an empire.
I mean, I don't like this man, but Jonathan Pryce is doing a great job.
I swear, like, I like the whole poor people overthrowing the power, but the way you go about it with this religious zealotness is a no.
Yeah.
Mother?
Oh, he came.
It's been so long.
Is she gonna be mad or is she gonna be a nice mom? Well,
That's a
there
good
we go.
question.
Put her in the red gown.
Not even looking at him.
I know I should have come sooner. Help me.
Well, this should be interesting. Having Tommen be guided by Cersei on her path to revenge.
We saw she didn't waste any time sending the mountain out to start the execution.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yay.
We haven't seen y'all in a while either, but someday in Great
All the
War.
time. That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
I've heard that line before.
Hey.
So that's where it came from. Now I've seen the source.
They must be unchained or they'll waste away. Sunday.
Tyrion's about just the free dragons.
I am their friend.
Huh?
They will.
Well, Tyrion's ready to risk it all, I guess. Oh man, he really is gonna go down there like immediately. Oh, and Varys. Varys is shook.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, Tyrion's badass. He says he knows, so I trust him. Like ripped right out of a horror film. I know I'd be sweating if I was holding that close to my face. Varys is not moved.
I'm like, this was
Like-
your idea. I was just here to escort you to the door.
He's like, good luck. Oh, I see him.
Oh, okay.
He's igniting. So,
Tyrion is like, what the fuck?
oh, here comes the other one. They're probably about to try and eat this man.
When I was a child,
They look good,
Uncle asked
CGI wise.
I wanted
Yeah.
for my name day. I begged him for one of you. It wouldn't even have to be a big dragon, I told him. It could be little, like me.
Oh.
Can you imagine little dragon, Tyrion?
Oh. Little child Tyrion, and a tiny dragon.
Well, it looks like it's working. I guess now there's a real test.
All right. He said, all right, I saw what you did. Now me. Hello.
Yeah, get this off me. It's like, wrap it up.
Oh.
Time I have an idea like that. Punch me in the face.
Tyrion, you
Sing
mad
with
man.
Dragons, Tyrion, you did it.
That was awesome.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I see that she's not doing much better. Got a big old lump on her head.
What's your name?
Came back for her daily beating, huh?
Oh.
That's not fair. Ooh.
Ugh. Now imagine like an old woman was just minding her business, walking past there, and Arya just whap, like swinging like that.
Just stay out the way. All right, Arya, you've been, I guess, broken enough.
We've been accepted back.
Welcome back. Yay. I hope she gets her vision back at least.
Of force, we could storm the castle, kill Jon Snow.
Murder the Lord Commander.
Too late for that.
You'd unite every house in the north against us.
The Starks lost my house the day King Rob cut off my father's head.
I forgot about that almost. That's pretty messed up.
Lady Walder has given birth. A boy.
Oh no. Run!
Congratulations, Lord Bolton.
Get out, Walder!
No, that's not a good sign. It's not a congratulations.
Forward to meeting my new brother.
Really?
Arusa, I know you ain't that stupid that you didn't hear that as a threat.
Always be my firstborn.
Come on. Whoa. I wasn't sure who got stabbed first. Damn. Well, that's one way to kill Roose Bolton. Bit ironic.
He
I mean, I
could've
won't miss him.
If he had whispered the words, it would have been exactly how he killed Robb Stark.
That's what I mean. It was a bit ironic.
Welcome.
What a way to go for Roose Bolton, though. I mean, he was not one of my faves or anything, but
That just means Ramsay is completely unleashed now.
yeah, now he has no one to kind of rein him in. Run!
Well, the girl. Oh no.
You in danger!
May I hold him?
Oh god.
Of course.
Walda, come on. You gotta know something's up with this man.
Lord Bolton sent for us. Have you seen him?
Oh, that's why the maester said Lord Bowen.
This does not look promising. Oh, there we go. Say, look like the place I keep the dogs. So
Now, Walda, why would Roose call for you in the dog panel?
red flags everywhere. No, come on.
Ramsay? Where is your father?
I suspect you'll be seeing him soon, Walda.
I am Lord Bolton.
Surprise.
Ramsay.
Now, you know he doesn't have mercy, unfortunately.
Your brother.
Yeah, well.
I prefer being an only child.
mm. Ooh. Just the noises. Ramsey, you vile person. Every time. I mean, I would say that's the worst thing he's done, but it's up there.
I should have gone with you while I had the chance.
I agree. Trying.
John will have me killed the moment I step through the gate.
Well, if he was alive, probably.
And the truth about Rob, who I betray.
Yeah, your rap sheet's not looking too good there.
I don't want to be forgiven.
You know what? Now that you're reminding of us all this mess you did,
The things I've done.
He's trying to redeem himself, I guess, though.
Home.
We're gonna see the Greyjoys again after they like straight up like abandoned him.
wasn't a very good homecoming last time.
I won't apologize for trying to rescue Theon.
And where is he?
Where is your kingdom?
Ooh!
Oh, well,
We took the castles because the Northerners marched.
I guess since we're throwing shade at one another.
The last time we provoked them too far, I watched from that window as they breached our walls and knocked down our towers.
I would not cross that bridge for $1 million.
I heard you lost your mind during a storm on the Jade Sea.
Now, why would you get closer to him?
I am the storm.
Oh, okay, so this guy's like absolutely crazy then. Basically, from what I'm getting from this backstory.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right. Well, I figured either he was going to go off the bridge by being blown off of it, or someone was going to blow him off the bridge. Well, whoever that random Greyjoy was that murdered him made quite an entrance.
The Salt Throne is not yours to swear upon.
Oh, sir.
Well, that is not the time.
Your father does not get to choose. The law is clear.
All right, Melisandre. I see
Oh,
we have the necklace on.
She's looking rather youthful these days.
Do you know of any magic that could help him? Bring him back.
If you want to help him, leave him be.
Can it be done?
We're talking about bringing people back from the dead.
There is some with this power. You were right all along. The Lord never spoke to me.
Fuck him then. Fuck him.
All right, then. You would wonder if she could potentially do this. Like, she would bring somebody else back to life. Poor Jon Snow.
We have just left him here without ever cleaning his body this whole time.
He's just been laying dead all season so far. Like, first 2 episodes. He's preserved very well up there.
Like Tormund was gonna go get the wood pyres. We were just gonna burn him in those clothes with the blood, with the stab wounds visible.
Well, I guess good thing they didn't burn him, because you can't. I imagine it'd be much more difficult to bring him back or attempt to bring him back if there's no body.
Yeah, where's Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr? They're the ones who know how to do this.
All right, I guess let's fingers crossed. Well, that doesn't seem very reassuring.
It's a broken woman.
Well, it was worth a shot, I guess, right? Poor ghost.
Loyal ghost.
Big as hell. Oh. Oh shit. He's back. He lives.
He lives.
Ghost knew before even he did, I guess.
Gus was like, wait a minute. What is this
He was-
presence I feel?
He was happy as hell, like a couple seconds before he got up. I guess maybe John just had like anxiety about coming back to life. He couldn't, he couldn't do it while everybody was watching.
Maybe his spirit had wandered far away in those days. They waited a long time to resurrect him.
It did say it was a couple days.
Well, all right. That was Home. Who knew it would be Theon who uttered our episode title this episode? Who would have thought? But there you go.
Yeah.
But I guess Jon is also home. So there you go.
Yeah, out of the two, I think John has the better shot at home that compared to with Theon going back over there.
Well, we had lots of fresh faces. It seems like we haven't seen some people in a very long time. And matter of fact, it's been since the finale of episode 4 since we have seen Bran, Hodor,
Crazy.
Mira, and the Three-Eyed Raven. And this is a fresh face for the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah, I got Max von Sydow. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we see Bran and the Raven himself in a wargame back in time, in a vision back in time to his father's youth, where he's practicing with his siblings, and he sees Hodor, the stable boy, also known as Willis, who is speaking English that is
Normal.
not just Hodor over and over again.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Then he's snapped back. He doesn't want to come back, but he's forced to come back, in which we see Mira, who seems a bit dejected, obviously. Last time we saw her brother died, or she had to kill her brother, more specifically. How did you feel about Bran and his first appearance in over a season?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's been that long. It was exciting to just see that finally return. Not that their storyline was one of my favorites anyway, but just the fact that we had like an intriguing point in the storyline and then we just ignored it for over a season was pretty crazy to me. But still, I mean, just the inklings that we got in this episode, I was intrigued by. Like we see, obviously they've grown quite a bit physically. They're much older now. We got a new Three-Eyed Raven, Max von Sydow, which is great because I love Max von Sydow. I mean, definitely a lot of seeds planted for intrigue between the stuff with Bran, with the stuff, the impending stuff that's happening, and also the little inkling we had with Hodor, because I'm now very interested in why he cannot say anything anymore. Like why, or I guess why is he choosing to just say Hodor, or is it a choice, an active choice, or is he incapable? I guess that is the point that I'm curious for. What was the point of no return there? Like, why is he only say Hodor if his name is not even Hodor? It's Willis.
I have to say, that's one of my biggest frustrations in storytelling is we got to a really interesting point with Bran's storyline finally, after a couple seasons at the end of season 4. And then they just let him be. They just don't even put him in season 5. And it's like, why? We were finally we're getting these, we come back and he's doing these visions and the stuff. It's like, I feel like there was some cool stuff, but whatever, I guess. But he's back now. So yay. Then we see the Mountain on the prowl, killing Cersei's enemies, the man who flashed her.
Of all the people to be enemies to Cersei, it would be the guy that flashed.
All you other people, that woman, you pulled some nasty ish too. So watch out, girl. You probably next. But Cersei is locked up in the Red Keep. She is being barred from even leaving to go to her own daughter's funeral. But we learn that the High Sparrow said she wouldn't be allowed in, and if she tried to get in there, they would have thrown her back into the jail cell. So Tommen kept her there to try and have her not be thrown back in jail.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go back to square one with the jail and all that stuff.
Amy was taking a much more hands-on approach and was about ready to just kill the High Sparrow himself right there in the sept. But he doesn't. He refrains and moves along as the High Sparrow continues his kind of power play. For someone who is so about not having possessions, he seems to be quite preoccupied with his power over the realm in the name of his religion. So, meanwhile, though, Tommen is convinced to go visit his mother. They have a small conversation. Cersei's pretty cold. until Tommen is like, look, I'm sorry, okay? Can you help me? Help me become a strong leader. I should have pulled the damn scepter onto the High Sparrow's head up for you, mama. And that kind of butters her up. It'd be like, okay, yes. I'll mentor you, son, in the ways of power. So how did you feel about the King's Landing storyline?
I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, it was definitely jarring just see that man giving his like recollection of this goofy story of him like flashing Cersei and her seemingly being into it, and then I guess maybe somewhere in the corner, Mountain was hiding and heard the story and went to go bash his head in real quick just because I guess that's considered one of Cersei's enemies. That was the like the little vow and all that stuff. I guess like she has a lot of enemies. Then if that was the level that we're gonna go for enemies to Cersei, then I feel bad for a lot of people that are in King's Landing.
Literally, the whole city is about to die.
Right? Yeah. There's like hundreds of people in the streets throwing stuff at her, calling her names. Like I think I mean, it was entertaining. It was like brutal as hell. I mean, this like new look for the Mountain is also just really scary because of the fact that you can tell he's like a weird bluish zombie underneath with the weird eyes, and I want to see what he looks like because the helmet's cool and all, but like how messed up looking is he at this? That's what I want to know. But as far as the stuff with Cersei, I mean, I do feel bad, in the sense that I think it would be beneficial for her to get that closure with her daughter. And I think it's very unfair that they won't let her in. They'll throw her in jail if she tries to go in. I do think that's very messed up. When it comes to the High Sparrow himself, I mean, like you already kind of mentioned, it's interesting the kind of power play he's making. Because Jonathan Pryce, I mean, High Sparrow is such like an annoying character in a sense, but like he is very intriguing to follow in the way that he weaves his way around stuff. I mean, I think because of Jonathan Pryce's performance is so great, even as we see him talking to Jamie and threaten Jamie and all that. It was a great scene, even though you hate the character and you want to see Jamie like stab him in that moment. Like it would not be in his best interest to do so in that moment. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see Tommen again after he's been like away for so long because he's just been locked up in his bedroom doing whatever, letting everybody just go to jail or die or all of the above. This then he's he's a frustrating character because he's so easily manipulated. Like he's too trusting. Like we saw it with Marjorie. Marjorie like played him so well, so easily. Now we're seeing it again with Cersei because now Cersei's got it's his mom and all, but we know that Cersei has a lot of vendettas that she's trying to get revenge on a lot of people. So I imagine that's going to be very easy for her to just weave webs and make Tommen do all the bad things she wants to do to people. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tommen doesn't really have much urgency of his own. I feel like if his mom will tell him something, he'll probably do it. Kind of reminds me of like Tywin in a way. Cersei's kind of becoming like a Tywin behind the scenes kind of ruler.
Well, then a little further north, all kind of tied in, we see Roose Bolton and Ramsay talking about Sansa's escape and Ramsay's men that got mowed down. He wants to go up and kill the Lord Commander, which Roose is like, wow, that's the dumbest idea I have ever heard, is to go and kill the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Little did they know at the time, the Lord Commander was already dead. They hadn't gotten word. But when word comes in that little Walda had a boy, Ramsay said, all right, we're done with the niceties, and kills his father. And then proceeds to kill Walda and this little boy. Goodbye to half of the Bolton household. Meanwhile, we do see Sansa with Brienne, Theon, and Podrick. We don't know if he ever got that fire started. Brienne is just like, I'm glad you're coming with us. We'll keep you safe. And she talks to Theon, who once again is very obviously, after all these years to think about it, is very sorrowful for what he did. Understand now it was obviously a terrible decision, not only for us, the viewer, and for the Stark family, but for himself. It led him directly into the path that he ended up going down, and it's just been a disaster based on his decision. He makes another questionable decision. So instead of going with Sansa and Brienne and Theon to the wall to meet JON, he decides he's going to go back to the Iron Islands once more. Last time he went to the Iron Islands is when all this mess started because his dad kind of convinced him to betray Robb while treating him like absolute garbage. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And over at the Iron Islands, we see Yara basically being like, Dad, don't be stupid. Your plan is terrible. Why are we going to go back over there? We're just going to get killed again and lose even more. And then they're going to come over here and kill us. But she no longer has to worry about that because Balon's brother came on and killed him. So now Yara thought she got the throne, but they have to hold a vote. So all of those northern storylines interconnected. How did you feel about all of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Ramsay stuff, I mean, it was vile, but it was like expectedly vile because he's just always been such a terrible character. I mean, you knew what was going to happen the moment that that guy walked in and was like, oh, it's Walda had a kid and it was a boy. Like, you knew immediately, paying attention to previous episodes, like, oh, well, that's the worst case scenario in this situation because he's going to kill that kid. He's going to kill her. And I was surprised he's going to kill Roose too. I guess he figured he was already on a rampage. May as well just get rid of everybody. Yeah, I mean, the character, Ramsay's such a horrible person. I mean, it's just so despicable, you know. But also, Walda should have should have known something. I would imagine, like, it's just been a red flag, you know, red flags everywhere. Like, oh, like, let's take you into the rabid dog cage, and no, let's meet here.
I'm sure Roose wanted to meet me in the dog kennels.
But yeah, I mean, Ramsay's terrible. I mean, nothing else is really new there in that regard. But I will be intrigued to see where we go now, since he's basically in charge. You know, he is the Lord Bolton, basically, right? I mean, there's nobody else. He's in charge.
Killed the rest.
So he's the only one left. He preferred to be an only child. He's going to be the ruler. I worry for anybody that he considers to be an enemy at this point, because we see he has no regard for compassion. You know, Brienne, Theon, all them. I mean, it was good. I mean, I'm glad that they're all together. It's such an interesting group there that I like a lot of the people in that group. Even Theon, to a degree, even though he's done a lot of terrible things, I think he's kind of atoned for a large portion of them. You know, I mean, we've seen a lot of damage done to him at this point, so I feel like he's pretty much atoned for almost, if not all, his stuff he's done, which doesn't justify it, but, you know, he's paid the price for his terrible decisions. Another terrible decision probably is on the way by going back to his home instead of going with Sansa and all them, because I imagine it's not going to be very great out there. Like, this random new Greyjoy, like you said, Balon's brother, throwing him off the bridge. And I guess nobody else knows he's there, because it didn't seem like anybody mentioned that, oh yeah, this other Greyjoy's back. I feel bad because it seems like he's pretty ruthless, and the way that he was described before he got chucked off the bridge, the other seemed like he was pretty vile, pretty crazy. So hopefully Theon is prepared for that as they go and do these votes, I guess, in the near future for who's going to be the new leader.
All right, well, then we got just a little quick scene of Arya still chilling in the streets.
Getting beaten on.
Got another beat down by the waif in the street.
She's a menace. The waif is a menace.
But Jaqen comes behind the waif and tries to get her to admit she's still Arya Stark, but Arya refuses. She still says she has no name. And so he says, come on back, come with me. So she's headed back to the the House of Black and White. Any thoughts on that little quick Arya moment?
I mean, I'm glad that she's finally getting back on the path to doing the whole stuff with the faces. Hopefully, I guess. Hopefully she'll get her vision back. You know, she'll have food and a place to sleep. So we're on the right path here. You know, back on her journey where she's not going to be like this shriveled up, sad ball of homelessness. I mean, it was horrible watching her just get beaten up by the waif like every episode. So after she got banished, that waif girl is really messed up. So it's just antagonizing this poor blind Arya just beating her all the time. She was like covered in bruises before she even walks up. So you know that there's been a couple other times between the last time we saw it and this time where she was still coming up and beating her and then antagonizing her. So that's great. I mean, in the sense that Arya's going to get revenge. I mean, maybe on the waif, but I would imagine she would get revenge to some degree on the waif just because she's terrible. But either way, I'm glad that Arya's back on the right track just because she's such a great character. And it's been like sad seeing this version of Arya.
Then we head over to Marine. We kind of learned that as crazy as Marine and, Slaver's Bay was while Daenerys was trying to wrangle it in, well, basically, ever since she has been missing, it's all just gone completely to shit. The other two cities that she freed the slavers have retaken them over. Her own city is a hot ass mess. The dragons won't eat, and her little council is very awkward. Grey Worm and Missandei are just like, hi, Tyrion. We don't know who you are. Hi, I guess you. He says, look. We serve the Dragon Queen. We cannot let the dragons die. So I'm going to gain their trust. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be their friend.
It's worth a shot, I guess.
So Varys escorts him in, but goes no further than the door. If it's your plan, you can head on down there yourself. We do learn a little bit more about Tyrion and his upbringing. This is talked about quite a bit more in the books, as he just has he's always had a deep fascination with dragons ever since he was a little kid, and so he's very mystified by them as he sees them, and he does in fact free them, and they don't murder him. So yay, Tyrion!
I consider that a win.
He was very scared, reasonably so. But they let him live, and he unchanged them. So how'd you feel about that moment over in Marine?
I thought the whole exchange was great. I mean, it was an exciting entire portion of the episode. I mean, Tyrion's always great. I mean, we got to see the iconic line that I should say I finally heard the iconic line about I drink and I know things. Because like even as someone who had never seen this episode, like it's on shirts, it's on billboards,
I have a shirt with it on it.
Posters. Yeah, I've heard the line. I just never heard the context in an episode until now, which was pretty great. That was great getting that backstory even more so on Tyrion because we've had inklings of his backstory before. But I'm liking this fleshed out backstory with him. Getting to an extent, I guess, seeing his dreams come true with the dragons. I mean, I don't know if he's going to ride a dragon per se, but at least he got to interact with the dragons and he lived, which is something that has been very rare throughout the course of the show, getting to interact with the dragon and living. So that was great. I'm excited for when or if Daenerys ever comes back, when they'll be freed. Well, I mean, hopefully their conversation will be much nicer when Daenerys comes back and they're freed, and we'll see, I guess. But I'm excited to just see more dragons because as we saw in House of the Dragon, it's always exciting to get more dragons.
Well, then finally, up in the Night's Watch, we start the episode off with Sir Alistair trying to break that door in and come for poor Sir Davos in that little room. Thankfully, the Wildlings and Ed return right in time. 1-1 burst through that door, said, "Not today, Sir Alistair." And the Night's Watch pretty much lay down their arms. They're like, "Oh shit, okay."
After that one guy got ragdolled into the wall, they stopped.
They saw him. He thought he did something too. He shot one and he thought he was doing something. Got his ass drugged, literally, just tossed to the side, dead. So Sir Alistair, Ollie, and any of the other mutineers who didn't want to surrender are now in prison. We see good old Davos approach Melisandre, who is very down. She has pretty much lost all her faith. She thinks everything she's ever known about the Lord of the Light has been a lie, that she has just been blind. She even tells Davos he's been right this whole time and she was wrong. But he doesn't accept it. He wants Jon brought back and is like, look, I don't really believe in your Lord of Light either, but how the hell am I going to deny what I've seen with my own two eyes?
Right,
I have seen you directly do some crazy-ish, ma'am. So
shadow babies, shadows that murder people,
poison. Yeah, so let's do one more, shall we? And she remembers talking to Thoros of Myr, who has brought Sir Derek Dondarrion back 7 times.
He's come back a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't seen them in a long time either. That brotherhood.
Wherever the hell they are. Yeah.
But she's like, I know someone who's done it. I've never done it myself. And to be honest, I don't really believe right now.
Well, worst case scenario, what? They're just still dead, I guess.
Yeah, so good, let's try it. And after all hope looks like it's gone, little ghost senses the feeling in the room, and Jon Snow is in fact resurrected thanks to Melisandre and or just the Lord of the Light. I'm not too sure. But how did you feel about the Night's Watch?
Well, I mean, that whole segment was pretty good too. You know, it was exciting in the sense that, you know, I was expecting a big old battle between, you know, Davos and all them in their locked away room and the rest of the, you know, crowd, Sir Alistair and all them. But it was more exciting for Tormund to come back with 1-1, and obviously 1-1 is massive, and he showed don't mess with them, because he is giant and he ragdolled one of your guys like it was an action figure. It was like it's like that was the one thing. I was like, all right, well, this guy got caught up, and 1-1 just beat that man to death with the wall. Let's not mess with him. Melisandre, I mean, I feel bad for her in the sense that, like, yeah, I mean, she's definitely very dejected after everything that happened, you know, seeming like everything that she believed in was wrong. But it was nice of her to still give it a old college try to bring back Jon Snow for everybody. I didn't think that he was going to come back. I mean, it was just like, I mean, he's only been dead for what, an episode and a half or so?
Yeah, almost 2. Because I guess since he came in right at the tail end and he died at the end of that one, I guess it's like 2 pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many characters die in this show, like they don't come back, you know. So I was like, well, we're the shot, you know. I think that would have been interesting if they had all that hype and then he didn't come back. I guess that'd be interesting too. But well, with everybody being locked up for killing him, I'm sure that they're going to be in for a big surprise when he walks out and he's alive again. So that's what I'm excited for probably next episode, is all of those people like Sir Alistair and Ollie. As they're locked up, they're going to probably like shit themselves when they see Jon Snow walk out that door and he's alive. Probably going to be punished.
Right now, Ghost is the only one informed. He's the only one who knows.
Yeah, that was interesting too. It was how everybody left the room and then he finally came back to life. Everyone other than Ghost, obviously. Yeah. So that's gonna be. I mean, that's something I look forward to next week, is just seeing everybody's minds be blown when Jon Snow walks out and he's alive. Because, like I said, we've seen so many people die in this show and they don't come back. I mean, Jon Snow is a good character and all. I mean,
it's because the show they didn't know what to do with Lady Stoneheart, the resurrected corpse of Catelyn Stark.
Oh yeah,
that is currently running amok in the books.
Yeah, I heard you told me about that. That would have been really weird how they would have interjected that with everything else going on. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it, but I guess maybe one day, maybe a different show, one of those 1,000 spinoffs.
Yeah, and I do figure, I mean, the rate at which we reboot films at this point, who knows? A series this popular, HBO might just be like, let's try again. But all right, so with Jon resurrected, with Cersei having her mountain and now having Tommen, with the dragons at least unlocked, but still in their little dungeon below the pyramid. Daenerys still with the Dothraki, Arya now back at the House of Black and White, and Bran is alive. He lives. What are your predictions moving forward?
The initial ones I can think of, I imagine that Cersei is going to influence Tommen to do terrible things, because that is what I just expect from Cersei, because Tommen is very easily manipulated and Tommen is very dumb. So I don't think he's going to be doing anything or suspecting anything that she's trying to do to get revenge on her enemies. We have already seen, well, I guess he'll be the more powerful overhead version, and the mountain is just kind of like on the ground revenge. We just walk around and just bash people's heads in against the wall. Daenerys, I mean, we didn't get really anything with Daenerys this episode, just her posse, if you will. Hopefully she gets out of her I guess what do you call it? Like her widow retirement home or whatever you want to call it, where they forced her to go to like this widow retirement home for Dothraki. Because I don't want that. I don't want her to just be stuck in this random place like the Stepford Wives or whatever. Well, Jon Snow, like I said before, Jon Snow coming back, I'm sure is going to blow everybody's mind. That's what I'm. So I imagine the people that killed him are going to be very, very punished for what they did because that's going to be awkward. Well, I mean, Ollie was one of them, so that might be satisfying because he killed Jon and his girl, which were both characters I quite enjoyed. Well, Arya's probably going to get her vision back. I don't know if we'll see. I guess we'll see what transpires with that story, but at least she'll probably be back to having sight, which is a big plus. Continue to learn about the changing of the faces, get revenge. She still has people on her list. Well, I don't know what's going on with the Dorne people, but I mean, they seem like so insignificant to the rest of what's going on in the show that I'm not that I dislike them, but like I don't know what the plan is for them. If there is their plan, like we saw Ilaria and them overthrow their government, I guess, and seems like we didn't really move that forward. They're kind of far away. I don't know what the end game for that is. I know they're trying to I guess they're trying to fight each other, but like Cersei has other plans. I don't know. That seems like one of the more messy things to me. I'm like when I think of like the Dorne stuff in general.
Cersei has some immediate stuff right here to worry about before she can even think about Dorne over there.
Bran is back in the picture now, finally. So it was great to see him back. Guess he's just gonna go warg some more. I don't know. It's like he's so far off the beaten path too. Also, where the heck is Osha and all them? Like they've been absent for a while.
We got Bran, but no Rickon and Osha.
Yeah, they're just somewhere. Ramsay's in power, which is always a bad thing.
All right. Well, who were your faves and least faves of this episode?
Tyrion's always got to be in the faves. He conquered he conquered his dream and his fears at the same time because he got to live out one of his fantasies from childhood while also surviving being next to all these giant dragons that were ready to just roast him. I guess I have to throw Jon Snow in there. I mean, it's just cool that he's back.
Yes.
He's he was pretty good for a while there. Well, Theon had a good moment where he was kind of redeemed. I'm trying to think, like there's not like a lot of people like I liked per se in the episode. I mean, I have to put Ramsay in the least faves. I mean, like what the hell? I mean, it's terrible. He forcibly made himself an orphan. Like he decided to just kill off his entire bloodline just because he wants to be alone. Like that's messed up. I mean, he's always been messed up. I mean, that's not new. Roose Bolton, just throw him in there because I've never really liked Roose Bolton. No, not even an RIP. Just he's dead. For his crimes he's committed, I'm okay with him being gone. Well, I guess that Greyjoy was the whatever Greyjoy, Balon's brother. I think that's what you said. Yes. I don't know. I imagine he'll get a name. I don't know. But yeah, that guy seems pretty crazy, just throwing people off bridges. Yeah. Well, the Mountain was pretty cool, but I mean, he's always been in I don't want to put him in the bad category. I'll put the Waif though. The Waif is mean.
The Waif is just a damn menace to society.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I mean, as far as characters I can think of that I dislike. I mean, a lot because so many other characters are kind of just like in the middle. Like Melisandre is in the middle. Like Davos is kind of in the middle. And,
yeah.
1-1. Put 1-1 in the category I like because he got his one great moment where he bashed that guy against the wall and broke in. Tormund, Tormund's always cool. We didn't really do that much. Brienne didn't really do all that much. Sansa, Theon. Yeah, but I mean, overall, I don't think there will ever be an episode he appears that Ramsay would be in my least faves.
All right, well, that was our reaction and discussion for Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 2, Home. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos and so that you are alerted when we do get to episode number 3. Hopefully it won't be a month away. We'll make sure it won't be a month away. But Tyler, do you want to let us know where to find you?
Yeah, I mean, if you search up my name on here, Tyler Calvert, you'll find my channel for reviews, reactions, rankings, a bunch of other stuff along the way. You'll still find me here on the channel talking about Game of Thrones, probably some other things along the way as well, along with the many other reactions and other reviews and all that stuff on this channel. We're still trying to sneak in some Daredevil here and there because we have a gap between Marvel shows at least. I mean, it's gonna be hell later this month. Let's be real, because it's gonna be Kenobi, Miss Marvel. Well, Miss Marvel's next month technically, but it's like the first week of June. Miss Marvel, Kenobi, and The Boys also is the very beginning of next month, and they're like all on at the same time. So it's gonna be a lot of fun those weeks. Plus all the movies that come out. But yeah, you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, and it's Tyler Calvert.
All right, and let us know, what did you think of season 6, episode 2? Were you happy when Jon arose at the end? Let us know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit us up both on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.